Have you ever seen this kind of people that when they tell them not to do this thing, that's when that thing you ask them not to do, that's when they want to do that thing? Like this kind of persons, they are actually anti everything good. Anti, it's not that they are fighting against the the order of things, though. It's just that they just want to, they are opinionated, they want to do their own things the way ahead. So I don't know if you've somehow, we all in our life has met this kind of person. This is who Vivienne Westwood was. I know a lot of persons must have heard this name, Vivienne Westwood. Why a lot of persons may not know her. She wrote her book by herself in the year 2019. She wrote it alongside Kelly, and by 2021 she died. So this book was timely. Thank God she wrote this book to let the world know about her. Like, we did not just see her from the big brand Vivienne Westwood. We got to see her for who she really is. So today we are going to be talking about this lady, this phenomenal lady, this lady that is anti everything that the government says, right? So Vivienne Westwood was born in 1941 in UK, not London, but somewhere in UK, and she was born during the time where Britain just finished fighting war. You know that Britain was leading wars and all of those stuff. So the country was still suffering hunger and starvation. Things were, commodities were scarce. Now the country was poor. The country was broke. The country was going through a lot. In fact, Vivienne also stated that she ate banana for the first time in her life at age 5. This is because fruit was very expensive and it was very rare for you to see fruit as at that time. So this was the kind of environment Vivienne grew up in. Now you imagine London, English people wearing suits, oh hell the queen, doing their thing, and then there's this particular person or this particular group of persons that want to just do the opposite. Now the queen gives an order. I want to give you a picture of what I'm saying. Like, imagine they give an order today, everybody should wear yellow, and this particular person will decide to wear green and come out, and then the law is like, what's this person doing? You understand? And then they're like, okay, everybody wear green. And after they say everybody wear green, the person will wear yellow and come out. So it was that bad. But anyway, she didn't start off like this. She was a cool girl, just doing her thing. At age 17, she got a teaching job in as an art teacher. She was just doing her thing. She loved art so much because she got a job because she needed to pay her bills. It's always paying of bills in all this fashion, history. All of them just had to pay their bills. Then they started one thing or found passion. So while she was teaching, finally she got married. She got married to Westwood. She was living with Westwood. Everything was looking fine. She even gave birth for him, right? She gave birth to one child for him. But then it looks as if she was not comfortable in the marriage, not because Westwood was abusive or was doing anything, but because she felt she was made for more. She wanted to do more. She didn't just want to be the domestic wife, domestic normal English woman, doing house chores, taking care of the family, attending royal, those things. She didn't want that life for herself, and so she divorced him. And then she started dating this guy, Malcolm. Yes, Malcolm is the name of this guy. It was this guy. I stand to be corrected at this point, but I feel whatever Vivienne turned out to be in life was because of the influence of Malcolm. Because this Malcolm, as at the time she met this Malcolm, he owned this band, this rock and roll band. This rock and roll British, combing their hair, keeping everything smooth. Rock and roll, they will scatter their hair, everything they are doing is scattering. So so they just had this upside down kind of life that was not aligning with the way the British culture was. And Vivienne later in the later part of her life said that Malcolm had this unique mind that she fell in love with his mind. I consider this an irony because later in the book, she felt irritated by the same character that pulled her close. So she started, she was already dating this guy, so she was hanging around with friends. They would tint their hair, do a lot of things, do. So she started this fashion stuff. Her kind of fashion was irregular. Like, it's not irregular. Like, you just see them newspaper, it's not the kind of clothes you see humans around the world, but she kept doing it. That was the idea. The idea was to do opposite of the normal, and she was not just pushing this fashion, she was not just giving it to models to wear, she was also wearing it herself. But even while all these things were going on, we never got to, or the world never got to know Vivienne that well until I think 1991 or so, where a particular model was trying to catwalk in a runway, you know, all of those stuff. And while she was catwalking for the first time in history, the model fell on stage. Even if the model fell and was laughing, the truth is that she fell. And while people looked at her shoe, it was there that it was Vivienne Westwood shoe she was wearing, that big Abula shoe. Yes, that was what she wore. That was why she fell. This thing, it was so bad. It was so we were like, that was when we were like, who made this shoe? Like, which fashion brand has this shoe? And that was how people started getting to recognize Vivienne Westwood. Like, you know, that was when the now people started noticing that her brand is very absurd, is very ridiculous. Yet a lot of persons started to buy. In fact, the Queen of England gave her an award of excellence. I'm telling you. So I feel one thing this book did was to make us see that regardless of how you are, be unapologetically you. Choose to be you. That was what she did. She was doing everything contrary, yet the world was celebrating her. Have you seen the way her styles, her kind of styles of fashion are? You're like, what's this? Like, why are you wearing this? And she will wear it, raise her head up high, and it will become a brand. It will become a fashion. Do you understand? So she was just later she divorced Malcolm and remarried. She got married 3 times, like 3 good times. So whatever happens, I feel if you are in the fashion industry and you've not read about Vivienne Westwood, you should go and read about her. This is her true life story, and you also see how she evolved, how to enter the fashion business, how to scale through, how to be yourself. Because at some point you feel like losing what makes you you. You feel like using that authentic you, right? You feel like succumbing to the norm. But Vivienne, she didn't, and at the end, her craziness became, you know, the thing that was in vogue. So yeah, we've come to the end of this book, Vivienne Westwood, that was written by Vivienne Westwood herself and Kelly, right? If you know you have beautiful stories, come close. You have amazing ideas that you want the world to know. You have books you want to share with the world. Please do well to reach out to us, and we'll help you transform your ideas, your stories into a full-fledged book, right? This is Smash Book with Miracle Chisholm, and one of the beautiful things we do is to spotlight beautiful books, award-winning books, and books that have the tendency to win award. If you're just joining us for the very first time, a warm welcome, and to all our returning subscribers, big thumbs up for you. You're the real MVPs. Please do not forget to subscribe. Subscribe now. Yes, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Thank you so much. We love you. Bye.